Hello, my esteemed viewers. This is BBI Channel 1, and I am still your friend, Asuzu Peters. On this episode on Biafra Discourse, I have with me the administrator of the customary government of indigenous people of Biafra, talking about Engineer Anthony Arewa, here with me in the studios. You're welcome to BBI Channel 1.
Thank you, my brother.
Today, the entire space, the Nigerian space, is agog with the Biafran agitation and the all-popular trending Igbo quit notice declared by what they call Kaduna Declaration by Arewa Youth Forum. This apprehension, this situation is something that everybody is concerned about, and we are here to deliberate on some of the vital points raised by this so-called Arewa Youth Forum. There are issues they raised. The Igbo nation being a problem of Nigeria. The Igbo, in fact, from that video, from that publication, you see that the northern part of Nigeria have always seen an average Igbo man as his problem. Dating back during the time of Ahmadu Bello, when he said that anywhere the Igbos occupy, they try to dominate. They see Igbo people as a threat and also as a domineering factor in the question or the equation called Nigeria. Now, after this sit at home that was recorded some few weeks ago, so many things has changed in Nigeria political system. And one of them, and the most glaring of them, is the Igbo quit notice. What is your stance, and what is the stance of the customary government of indigenous people of Biafra with regarding this situation?
Yeah, thank you, my brother, and my viewers. I welcome you, great Biafran people out there, and the whole world that are viewing and listening to our this presentation and this discourse. To tell you the truth, the customary government has reacted to this very issue officially. In our reaction, we took cognizance of the fact that the opinion expressed by the what you call Arewa youth, I don't want to use that word Arewa youth anymore, because by going through that video, you understand that those people, they are not youth. To me, I would have to say Arewa people, Arewa leadership, the northern Nigerian people, the caliphate, the Sharia government has issued a quit notice to Biafrans, the Igbo people. And I want to tell you, to them up there, everything beyond, anybody beyond the River Benue is Yamere. So it's not just Igbo, it's just all of us in Biafra land to quit, to leave Arewa land. That is what we believe it. First of all, the customary government welcomed the decision to ask that federal government should aid Biafrans to have their own country.
Because part of what they said.
Yes, we welcome that very well. In fact, that is why our people have been agitating that we need our own country, we need Biafra, so that we will no longer be, unquote, problem to anybody. If you say I am a problem to you, then let me be on my own, you stay on your own. And then we will fashion out our term of relationship, how we are going to relate as neighbors. So we welcome that. That is very, very much welcome. We are happy that Nigerians have actually accepted, because we know that 50 years ago or thereabout, the same group of people waged a war, killed millions of our people, supported by the world powers, in order to insist that we remain in this country. And after that war, they deprived us of all our hard-earned income, hard-earned money. All, no matter how much amount a Biafran, an Igbo person had in Nigerian bank, he was given 20 pounds. So Biafran started life again, all over again with 20 pounds. And from that 1970 till date, Biafrans have been killed, Biafrans have been murdered everywhere in Nigeria for no just cause, for a flimsy reason of somebody urinating somewhere. You kill the person, and the Nigerian government has not done anything to protect the Igbos, to protect Biafrans in Nigeria. It's the duty of the government to protect the citizens. But unfortunately, in our own case, certain times even the government agency age these killers on our people. And we've been bearing all this. When a man starts a life with $20, 20 pounds, you know what it means. To survive, to feed his family, to take care of family problem, he had to be almost, let me use the word, ruthless. He had to see the world like if it is a war front, because he's fighting for survival. And the Igbo man had to run around along the road, pursue trucks, pursue vehicles to sell sachet water, to sell soft drink, to eke out a living. We have been mocked for that. We've been insulted that we are only hawkers along the road, and that's where the Igbos are good at. The same people that are telling us all this are mocking us for being just hawkers on the road. Out of this hawking, out of this roadside business, we've been able to establish, we've been able to defend, we've been able to build an economy in Biafra land. We've been able to extend and develop Nigeria without minding that those people, unquote, like we are now being told, that they are not Nigerians. We've invested our blood, we've invested our sweat all over Nigeria. In every city you go into Nigeria today, you will see an Igbo man suffering to sustain life there. If you look for a pharmacist, you will see one, and that person must be an Igbo man. If you want a mechanic, a repairer, to take care of your vehicle in any dimension, you will see an Igbo man, no matter how remote the place is. You see an Igbo man sweating to sustain the wheel of economy and development of this country.
And yet, okay, now, and yet I see an average Igbo man as a problem. Now, we are going to x-ray highlight some of these issues that was raised by these people.
Without remorse for the carnage they wrought on the nation in the 1960s, are today boldly reliving those sinister intentions connoted by the Biafran agitation that led to the very first bloody insurrection in Nigeria's history. B. Emboldened by the apparent indifference of the Nigerian authorities, the Igbo secessionist tendency is widening in scope and action at every stage, with adverse effects on the law-abiding people of other regions residing in or passing through the East, while the Igbo leaders and elders, by their utterances and direct action or inaction, appear to support and encourage it. This is happening irrespective of the indisputable fact that, 1, the Igbos have done and are doing more damage to our collective nationhood than any other ethnic group, being responsible for the first violent interference with democracy in Nigeria, resulting in a prolonged counterproductive chain of military dictatorship. 2, the Igbos similarly orchestrated the first and so far the only civil war in Nigeria that consumed millions of lives and sowed the seed of the current mutual suspicion and distrust. 3, the Igbos are also responsible for Nigeria's cultural and moral degeneracy, with their notorious involvement in all kinds of crimes, including international networking for drug and human trafficking, violent robberies and kidnappings, high-profile prostitution, and advanced financial fraud. 4, at the peak of the devastating Boko Haram violence in some parts of the north, available records show that the Igbo people have variously been apprehended while attempting to convey caches of dangerous arms and ammunition to the troubled regions. 5, there are today sufficient reasons to suspect that some Igbos masquerade as Fulani herdsmen to commit violent atrocities across the country in order to cause and spread ethnic disaffection. 6. It is also on record that since the inception of the current democratic dispensation, the Igbos have shown and maintained open contempt and resentment for the collective decision expressed by majority of Nigerians at various stages via generally acceptable democratic processes. Our stand. 1. From today, June the 6th, 2017, when this proclamation is signed, the North, a critical player in the Nigerian project, hereby declares that it will no longer be disposed to coexisting with the Igbos and shall take definite steps to end the partnership by pulling out of the current federal arrangement. 2. This conclusion is necessitated by the realization that it since ceased to be comfortable or safe to continue sharing the same country with the ungrateful and cultured Igbos who have exhibited reckless disrespect for the other federating units and stained the integrity of the entire nation with their insatiable criminal obsessions. 3. Rather than certain sections holding the whole country to ransom at every stage, each should be allowed to go its own way, as we categorically proclaim today that the North is fed up with being the same country with this pack of acrimonious Igbo partners. 4. The North hereby openly calls on the authorities and other national and international stakeholders to acknowledge this declaration by taking steps to facilitate the final dissolution of this hopeless union that has never been convenient to any of the parties. Prelude to final separation. 1. Recovery and control of landed property. As a first step, since the Igbo have clearly abused the unreciprocated hospitality that gave them unrestricted access to and ownership of landed properties all over the North, our first major move shall be to reclaim, assume, and assert sole ownership and control of these landed resources currently owned, rented, or in any way enjoyed by the ingrate Igbos in any part of northern Nigeria. Consequently, officials of the signatory groups to this declaration are already mandated to commence immediate inventory of all properties, spaces, or activity in the North currently occupied by the Igbos for forfeiture at the expiration of the ultimatum contained in this declaration. In specific terms, the groups are directed to compile and forward an up-to-date data of all locations occupied by any Igbo in any part of northern Nigeria, including schools, markets, shops, workshops, residencies, and every other activity spaces. 2. Relocation notice. Secondly, with the effective date of this declaration, which is today, Tuesday, June the 6th, 2017, all Igbos currently residing in any part of northern Nigeria are hereby served notice to relocate within 3 months, and all northerners residing in the east are advised likewise. 3. Enforcement. All northern civil society and pressure groups are by this declaration mandated to mobilize for sustained coordinated campaigns at their respective state government houses, state houses of assembly, local government council secretariats, and traditional palaces to mount pressure for steps to be taken to ensure enforcement of the directives contained herein. Conclusion. In conclusion, we are hereby placing the northern authorities, the Nigerian authorities, and the entire nation on notice that as from the 1st October 2017, we shall commence the implementation of visible actions to prove to the whole world that we are no longer part of any federal union that should do with the Igbos. From that date, effective, peaceful, and safe mop-up of all the remnants of the stubborn Igbos that neglect to heed this quit notice shall commence to finally eject them from
We have heard they say that the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria, dating back the 1960s up to today. He also mentioned that the quit notice, they will start a thorough mop-up on the stubborn Igbos that refuse to heed to this warning. And I don't know what's your reaction about that ultimatum, because it is not just an ultimatum, it is a threat.
Okay. You rightly can capture the right word, mop up of the stubborn Igbos. We have, the customary government has actually informed the world that the stage is set again for another pogrom in Nigeria, another senseless killing of a people. We have informed the world, and we are informing the world and continuously informing the world and Nigerian authority that the northern killers are preparing again to unleash mayhem on the defenseless Igbos, because when we call it defenseless, the nation Nigeria ought to defend the people, the citizens. But we discover that even the government agents sometimes aid this killing. So these, my brothers, have now started to regard Igbos as a recalcitrant people that must be ejected out of their and those that remain after the 1st October will be regarded as stubborn, and they are going to be mopped up. What we know about mopping up is systematic elimination, cleansing of any portion, any Igbo that still remain in northern Nigeria.
That is very crucial, because somebody is out there threatening genocide.
Yes.
Somebody is out there threatening ethnic cleansing.
Yes.
And nothing is being done.
Good.
They've not been arrested up to now.
That's why I said we are warning the world, we are informing the world that this is an act, in fact, it's a threat to the very existence of Igbo people. First of all, like I started to say, these people suffered to build up the properties that can be regarded as Nigerian property today, apart from what government has put in place. Almost 70% of the private houses that exist in northern Nigeria were built by Igbo people. Mm-hmm. And now you are now trying to jettison them out simply because they want freedom. They want to stay, they want to have a country of their own. And I know that as I'm talking to you, whoever is reading that very text, mm-hmm. His or her brothers must have property in Ghana, in South Africa, in all over the world. They have property. And because they are Nigerians, nobody has asked them to leave those areas they are staying, or they built up those properties and abandon those properties and go back to Nigeria. They are enjoying the benefit of their sweat in other countries where they built their own properties. Today, because Biafrans want independence, now somebody is now trying to threaten our life. They are threatening our life. They are preparing. Right, I'm talking to you. Information we are gathering is that the northern Nigerian elements are importing arms, are importing equipment to mop up, because you cannot mop up without anything. They are planning to mop up, and the world, Nigerian government has not arrested anybody. But they have arrested Biafrans simply because they come out and say we want Biafra. You've arrested them, you have hunted them.
Because they say they want self-determination.
Self-determination. And you
are killing them.
And you killed them, you have arrested them, you have taken them to court. Yeah. But somebody has threatened the life of a people in a country and no arrest has been made. What we are trying to say is that this is another stage that is being set for a terrible thing that will happen in this 21st century. It's going to be very, very, in fact, it's unacceptable to the customary government of indigenous people of Biafra. And we are saying that Igbos that have property in Nigeria, they built it with bona fide intention to develop a country you force them back into. They didn't steal those lands. Those lands were sold to them legitimately, and they sweated and built upon them. It is their property. Just like Nigerians have property in other parts of the world today, Biafrans have right to have property in Nigeria. And nobody has any right to appropriate, covet, and or own, take up, steal somebody's property all over the world.
That now boils down on what is the customary government of indigenous people of Biafra doing about? Because so many people have called me and asked me, now that this thing is happening, what preparation is being put in place by the government of indigenous people of Biafra in order to salvage the situation of our people if, peradventure, our people start trooping down in mass?
Okay. Thank you very much. I want to tell you one thing about Igbo people. By 1966, when Igbos were forced back like this, the world was expecting to see our people line up on the street, sleeping on the street, simply because multitudes were being forced out of their natural residence and they moved down. The world didn't see anybody on the street. Anybody comes home, he gets into his family house, relatives, accommodated them. Yeah, we know that there are people who have stayed there for 40, 50, even 60 years, who, by all rights, may not even know their place anymore. Because those people have accepted Nigeria as their home. When they come back, we will manage. We always have ikunne, ndị nna ochie. The customary government is calling also on the government in Igbo land, in Biafra land, to understand that there is a challenge to the very existence of our people. They must have to start now to prepare for an accommodation for our people who may come back without anywhere to lay their heads.
That surprises me, my brother.
Because by now we were expecting to have our governors, those who call themselves our governors. By now we are expecting to see the Southeast Governors Forum meet and take a decisive action on how to establish internally displaced persons camp to accommodate people for a while before they got assimilated into the society. But right now, many of them are playing politics, they are playing ostrich, they believing there is no problem. The only time they will now discover there is a problem is when the heads of our people are started being sent to them in mail bag and blood start flowing. And people come home and they will now try to use that opportunity to beg Nigeria to accept us back. Because that's their problem. All of them have property in Nigeria and they want to respond, unquote, positively to this quick notice. They want to use that quick notice to attack, to come back to attack our people, because that is what these people want to achieve. These people that are giving this ultimatum are using it to stampede our people to go against the legitimate quest of freedom by our people, so that our people will now be fighting ourselves. Those who have property in Nigeria will now come back to tell you that it's calling for Biafra, stop this, stop this. Then they will be there harnessing the gains of our people. So what we are saying, the customary government is very, very serious about this. Whatever is going to be done, let the governments that are controlling the resources of Biafran people in the state government houses in Biafra, let them start now to take positive action to accommodate our people. It's not just about building duplexes everywhere. A governor can be going home every month with 1.4 billion naira or more. Security vote. What are you doing with that money? And the security of your people are at stake. And you are going home with 1.4 billion naira or more every month. And you don't know it is your duty to use that money to take care of their lives and their property. All over Igbo land, they go home with security vote every month. Tremendous amount of money. And nobody is called to account for this money. So my brother, the reaction in this very aspect is that our governments must act. If they don't act, if anything happens to Biafran people, they owe it to us. Our youth, our people, our future will continue to hold them responsible.
In fact, what you say is it should go as an advice to our people, those living in the north, the direct threats, those living in the north, not to isolate themselves from each other. Yes. This is time to bond together. Yes. This is time to stay together. Yeah. This is time to look and watch each other's back, because as to get the and these guys are serious. If you look at what they say and how they say it, their countenance about it, and their readiness to do it, you know it is not a joke. It is not just a threat, but it is a warning. It's a direct warning, and they are ready to execute
to implement it. Yes. I want to assure Biafrans that no Igbo man's property, no property belonging to a Biafran, will be taken away from him or her by anybody.
When
Biafra has been restored as a sovereign nation.
That is why they have to take inventories of their
property,
especially those ones that are immovable.
Yes.
Those fixed assets.
Yes.
Relocate those ones that are movable.
Yes.
Then we'll start take proper documentation, keep documents, take inventories. I think
immediately.
I think we've come a long way, because we are rounding it up on this episode, but we can't conclude without this current trend, because of the political movement of Biafran people.
Yeah.
We have pointed out the failure of the government in the southeast. Like one erudite Biafran, I'll call him, personality, the person of truth afforded it.
Yeah.
He made mention in one of his comments when he was launching his book that marginalization can never be an excuse. And that word really taught me.
To the terrible leadership.
That marginalization can never be an excuse to the kind of leadership you have in Igbo land.
Thank you.
The kind of leadership we have in Biafran land. Because what your enemy did to you is known that it's your enemy. What of the one you are doing to yourself?
It is part of the issue.
And that is why the issue of political revolution in Igbo land, to change the status quo of the kind of leadership in Igbo land, becomes inevitable.
Biafran people have not had leaders elected in the land. What we have are surrogates of their political godfathers that empowered them politically, empowered them economically, to be their eyes, their stooges on Biafran people. What we have today in the government houses are not elected by our people. They were rigged in. The mandates they are holding are stolen mandates. Because our people knew that we elect people by their actions and activities that are favorable to the very existence of our people. I want to tell you that these people that are governing Igbo land, Biafra land today, if they are to face free and fair election, they know they won't be there.
Not they may,
they won't be there. If a people are being threatened and you have not taken a decisive position, come on air to reassure them. Come on air to say, this is our position, please be calm, we are taking care, we are on top of the situation. How can you call yourself a leader? How can you call yourself a governor? A people's governor? Ojukwu was able to defend Igbo people. He was able to leave Biafran people to defend themselves for 30 months. And some people are using his head, using his personality to justify themselves that they are going to lead for 30 months.
And somebody has led for 3 good years.
3 good years, 4 years.
4 years.
You have not done enough to stand as a person and ask people, judge me. You are using somebody's head that has led only for 30 months, not up to 3 years. It is insulting to the people who call themselves leaders in Igbo land.
Something actually happened one of the days we went to a function, and one intern or aspirant actually was addressing some people and said that he made one comment, and hey, I don't want to be political, but he made that comment and I picked on it. He said that no single political party in Biafran land has monopoly and franchise of the head of Ojukwu, because Ojukwu is the father of the entire Igbo land and the
Biafran people. Any person that converts Ojukwu's influence to himself alone is just, he knows that the people are not with him.
And one of the functions that I attended, one aspirant, I would say, I don't want to sound political, but he said something that Ojukwu as a person, in fact, no political party has the monopoly and the franchise of Ojukwu's head. Because Ojukwu is not the symbol of a political party. Ojukwu is a symbol
of resistance
of Igbo people and the Biafran people in general.
Yes.
And you cannot be against the Biafran ideology, yet you are monopolizing Ojukwu's head. No, it sounds somehow. And that is why this issue, when I saw this publication, this advert, this advertorial, this current political tsunami that is happening in Anambra State now, the promise of Biafran ideology, that is a bomb, and many people are, are taken over by that movement. It's not just. When I saw that, I saw another thing there that said that blessed are those who are proud to be called Biafran. And when you look at some of the political class, they have shied away. And before we just round it up, I want us to recap on that statement made by this young, vibrant Biafran when he was launching his book.
If you consider what our parents went through in Biafra, what confronts us today is nothing but a cakewalk. It just requires courage. And that's why I did not shy away from touching on every subject that is important for our people. We have to be proud of who we are. We are Igbo. We must be proud of our Biafran heritage. No shying away from it. That's who we are. That's our history. But at the same time, we must move very surely, no timidity, to secure our rights in Nigeria. I would argue that marginalization cannot be an excuse for the kind of leadership we have in Igbo land.
You heard it from him. Simple. What is our problem is that many of our political class have decided to shy away, have decided to become inferior, inferiority complex, have held them back. And it is time you stand out or you stand off. Let me just put it that way. It's either you stand out as a Biafran or you just give away. Just stand away from the Biafran political leadership. Because time has come for the people to take their destiny in their hands through the due process of law. He has not broken any law by identifying himself as a Biafran. As we, the indigenous people, we cannot be indigenous people of anywhere other than indigenous people, and it's not our choice. But citizenship, we can relinquish that away. Please, your conclusion on this topic that we discussed, can you just highlight some of your points and also give us your conclusion?
The point I'm trying to highlight is what we have all said together. Our people must be able to save their life first, because there is a threat. Cloud is gathering. The gods are warming. The killers are on rampage. They've already asked the people to start documenting the data. As they document data of properties, they are documenting data of owners of those properties. And they have already started eyeing. Many of them have started claiming the properties they will inherit when the Igbos have been pushed out or killed. That is how it's been. In Nigeria, after people have suffered, especially when Igbo man have suffered, somebody takes over. You stole the mineral resources in Biafra land and build Nigeria. We sweat it out to even come and build, add to the one you stole our property, our resources to build, we add to our sweat to it. And you want to steal even the one that we got through our sweat. That is the nature and the fate of Igbo man, and the world is watching. So what I'm asking our people is, everybody take heed to this very threat to your life, do positive things to save yourself, move so that it is only a tree that has to be chopped down and start and remain immovable. When a human being's life is threatened, you take positive action to save himself. Then after that, we know that, like you mentioned out finally here, the Biafrans have very much a lover of freedom. Even the United States 770 had been on self-defense. We never initiated any war. We are not good at initiating war or spilling people's blood. So we have said this repeatedly that the customary government of the indigenous people of Biafra is in court with the Nigerian government over the right to self-determination. We would like to resolve Nigerian Biafran crisis through the legality of the law. We would like to resolve it through the instrumentality of diplomacy and politics. The court case is going on. By next month, on 4th of July, will be in court again. Let the court take a decision and ask Nigerian government to allow referendum to be held in Biafra land. That will be so that peacefully Biafrans will decide what they want. And then while that is going on, Nigerians must be made to understand that they have no right to covet people's property because it's built on their land. They should be open-minded to have a sovereign Biafran nation exist side by side with them, do business with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to have you and the Biafran people out there and our viewers all over the world. You have had it all from the administrator of the customary government of indigenous people of Biafra, Engineer Anthony Arewa. Once again, it's my pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
I will have you again.
Thank you.
To have and also to get connected and stay connected to BVI Channel 1, I admonish you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the rest of them. And also visit our website, www.bvichannel1.com, so that you will get adequate information and news void of propaganda. I still remain Associate Peters. See you next time.
Welcome to Forestville Luxury Hotel. At Forestville Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Forestville Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeline Mishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 08075787135 or 08099900601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.forestvillehotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Forestville Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.